Something feels wrong. Not dangerous, not dramatic, just off. The person across from you is smiling. Their words sound completely reasonable, but something below the sternum tightens, quietly, without permission. You doesn't know what this signal means, not yet. That not knowing, that's the opening. The exact place where it begins. And by the time you name it, something has already been taken. Manipulation never announces itself. It doesn't arrive looking hostile. It arrives wearing your own language, your values, your needs, your fears. It speaks directly to what matters most. And your brain, your social pattern reader, can't flag it in time. Because your brain has a trust bias. Researchers call it the trust heuristic. When someone mirrors your energy back, your threat circuits dip. When they speak in your emotional language, your defenses lower further. When they seem to just get you, you open the door. They didn't pick the lock. You handed them the key. And you had no idea you did. But this isn't your failure. This is a designed exploit. Not of your stupidity, of your humanity. The circuits that get fooled here are the same circuits that bond you. The same ones that built every relationship you value. Your capacity for connection is the target. And this is just the beginning. Manipulation is not impulsive. That is the first hard truth. It is not a bad day, not a rough emotional patch. It is a system, and every system has a testing phase. Psychologists who study covert manipulation call this the probing stage. Before control comes data collection. They are studying you, your emotional trigger points. What makes you apologize fastest? What makes you doubt yourself? Which relationships you fear losing? Which version of yourself shames you most? They build a map, because mapping is exactly the right word. Once the map exists, they don't attack directly. Skilled manipulators rarely do. They work through your existing beliefs. They locate the stories you already carry. I'm too much. I always ruin things. Nobody really stays. They didn't write those stories. They found them, and they use them as leverage. A 2021 study in personality and individual differences identified this pattern as narrative exploitation. Your inner critic becomes their instrument. You start hearing their agenda inside your own internal voice. That is not coincidence. That is engineering. And there is a neuroscience reason this works. Your brain has a specific region, the anterior insula. It detects social wrongness, a mismatch between someone's words and intent. When something feels off, this region fires a quiet alarm, a signal most people override. Research published in 2022 in Nature Neuroscience found something genuinely disturbing. Repeated exposure to gaslighting suppresses anterior insula activity over time. Your internal alarm gets switched off, not by you, by sustained psychological pressure, by someone systematically undermining your perception. Gaslighting is not a confrontation. It is a slow erosion of signal. That never happened. You're being too sensitive. Everyone agrees with me on this. Each sentence is precisely calibrated to make your internal signal feel like noise, to make you need them to tell you what's real. And here's the part you couldn't believe. Most manipulators are not fully conscious they're running any of this. Research published in the Journal of Personality found that many manipulation behaviors are learned survival adaptations, formed in early childhood. A child who couldn't access love directly learned to get it through control, through guilt, through manufactured crisis, through becoming impossible to leave. That child became this adult. This does not make the behavior acceptable, but it changes how you understand it, which changes how you respond to it, which is where the power shifts back to you. Because here is the counterintuitive truth. Your first instinct is confrontation. Name what they're doing. Demand accountability. That instinct makes human sense, but it almost always backfires, because their system runs on your reaction. High emotion equals more control for them. The more you escalate, the more justified they feel. The more you defend yourself, the more useful data they collect. What actually disrupts a manipulator is boring them. A 2019 study in Clinical Psychology Review documented a counter-manipulation approach called the gray rock method. You become uninteresting. Short answers, flat tone, no drama, minimal emotional data for them to process, not cruelty. Strategic emotional disengagement. Participants using this approach reported a 60% reduction in targeting within 6 weeks. The manipulator can't run their system if you stop fueling it, but there is a deeper layer here. The real trap isn't the manipulation itself, it's the confusion it generates inside you. Researchers call this cognitive dissonance overload. When someone is sometimes warm and sometimes destabilizing, your brain cannot form a stable read. It enters a processing loop, trying to reconcile two contradictory versions: warm, cold, caring, cruel. That loop is exhausting by design. It keeps you tethered, keeps you explaining instead of deciding. Because you are not trying to escape someone bad. You are trying to understand someone inconsistent. And your brain will chase that understanding until something breaks. Here is what you learned. There are 4 real-time signals. Detection markers you can use in the moment before your brain begins explaining them away. Signal 1. Artificial urgency. You felt calm before this conversation. Now everything feels like a deadline. That urgency did not come from inside you. It was installed just now. Do not act from pressure that was placed in you. It is not yours. Signal 2. Responsibility transfer. Suddenly you feel responsible for their emotional state. Their anger, their pain, their disappointment. You didn't cause this situation, but now you feel like you did. Label it internally. This is not mine. That phrase alone disrupts the transfer. Signal 3. Reality drift. You are starting to question what you heard, what you saw, what you felt. You were certain 10 minutes ago. Now you're not. That shift was manufactured. Trust the version of you that existed before this conversation. That version had information. Signal 4. Performance mode. You are not being yourself right now. You are managing their reaction, filtering every word before it leaves you, monitoring their expression constantly. Your entire self has oriented around them. That is the hook they embedded, and now you can feel it for what it is. Knowing these signals is not passive. It is the beginning of the shift. When you feel that tightening, label it. Don't dismiss it. Don't explain it. Label it. Neuroscientists at UCLA found that naming an emotional state reduces amygdala activation by nearly 50%. That is not metaphor. That is measurable brain activity. I feel urgency I didn't create. I feel responsible, but I'm not. I feel uncertain about what I know. Say these internally, not to them. Your prefrontal cortex activates. You shift from reactive to observational. You are still in the room, but no longer inside their system. The map is finished. Now you walks back in. Same room, same pressure, same words. But you have something different now. A named framework. A set of activated circuits. A practiced pause before reaction. When you can name the technique loses its grip. Not completely, not overnight, but meaningfully. That's a guilt deployment. That's artificial time pressure. That's a reality reframe. You don't say these out loud. You say them to yourself. And something in your nervous system stops bracing for impact, starts observing instead. That is not coldness. That is clarity. And clarity is what they have been slowly trying to strip from you. You seeing clearly is the most threatening thing they have ever encountered from you. If something just clicked inside you, we aren't done mapping. Stay in the mind's eye.